It's been a busy day. It's been a long day. A lot like 10 years ago without the catastrophe. But maybe I can bring you back just a little bit. You see, I come from that place in New York City. It's like Representative Kavanaugh, who walked a beat there with the Port Authority. It's like my dad, a New York City policeman, who kept those streets safe. And my mom is here, and my son and my wife, and my brother is in the back as a first responder. But you didn't have to come from there to know what happened that day. In fact, if you go back to ask some of the good Sisters of Mercy at my high school, they may tell you that one of my problems with my grades was staring out the window on the 4th floor to a pair of towers that you could see on a clear day from my high school. Of course, things change, and today they memorialize alumni who were lost on that day. It hurt everywhere in America that day, whether you're from there or not. Heard a lot of Americans who remember that that was the first place that their grandparents came to start a new life in a new country they knew to be America. You didn't have to see those towers going up. You didn't even have to see them coming down. In fact, I think the miracle and the courage on Flight 93 before it hit the ground near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, was that we didn't even know that was going on at the time. Remember? We were looking at something else. But we certainly all felt it, didn't we? And we were all very much a part of it. And then there were those first responders. And then they put up our flag. Do you remember? Do you remember? And one of those stars was Arizona. Arizona's star was there. Many stars, of course, filled the field. And that's because the way we survived that day was because we were together. And we are a nation of many stars. It still hurts, doesn't it? Some still cry. Lessons were taught and reaffirmed that day. I guess the one I remember most was no greater love hath this than to lay down one's life for one's friends. The folks on Flight 93 are first responders in New York City. And you didn't have to be there to know it was an attack on you. It taught us again that cowards exist. Taught us again that evil exists. But we also know, we proved that day, that heroes exist. And more importantly, the world knew that America exists. It's our love for freedom that they attacked that day. Cowards take innocence. But America and our faith inspire freedom. If it weren't for America, evil would reign. And the cowards knew it that day. And the cowards knew it. What they didn't know was it wasn't enough to take our families. It wasn't enough to take our buildings. They had to take our freedom. They couldn't take our freedom that day, and they can't take our freedom today either. America stands again, and hope lives on. Our dream of family and love inspires the world. The world knew what happened that day. And now, those heroes are inscribed in places like Ground Zero and the Pentagon and the soils in Pennsylvania. America is even more so affirmed now in our hearts, isn't it? And especially today. Because it's like our faith. It's affirmed in our soul. And they couldn't hurt us by knocking down our buildings. And they couldn't stop freedom that day. And you know, on that day, like America always is, no one asked the first responders going up the stairwell. No one asked the citizens charging the pilots, the engine room. Nobody asked folks who were going in to help folks at the Pentagon, whether they were Republicans or Democrats. You didn't have to bring your religious membership card with you, because that's weren't what they were looking for either. They were looking for Americans. They were looking for hope, and they found it in heroes that day. The cowards and the evil that they brought will try again. I assure you, they will lose again. Freedom lives. That's why we're here today. Freedom is affirmed, and the world looks to America to forever defend it. And we will. God bless you.